Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and if you just upgraded to the new 2026 Honda Passport, congratulations, you've got a great tech suite in front of you, featuring a 10.2-inch gauge cluster screen and a 12.3-inch center infotainment screen. This Honda kind of provides you what you need to know and not too much more when it comes to technology. But if you're new to this technology game, we're going to try to help you out in how to use the screens, how to pair up a phone, use some of the features you may or may not have known about, and answer any questions you might have. First things first, if you do want to see more on the Honda Passport, check the link below. We've got our full review. We did a little bit of off-roading with this Trail Sport model. We've also got a dedicated review of the 12-speaker Bose sound system and a highway fuel economy test. And then next, I highly recommend, if you just recently purchased this vehicle or you're spending extended time with it, park yourself in a driveway or a parking garage or somewhere safe and get familiar with the controls and the screens. Maybe watch along with the video. Get comfortable with the car. You'll enjoy it that much more. Starting looking at the buttons around, I do really appreciate all the physical buttons and controls in the Passport here. In fact, I should have mentioned that in my full review about how nice it is to have so many physical controls. But starting over on the left here, you've got seat memory for driver 1 and driver 2. And on the side, you've got a button to open up your rear liftgate, and it looks like a heated windshield button. That's kind of cool. Coming around, you've got your fog lights and your headlights and your turn signal stock. Paddle shifters on the back of the steering wheel. On the left side of the wheel, you've got track selection, front and back, volume up and down, a voice command button, which you can press once to get to the vehicle's voice command, and press and hold to get your phone's voice command. So if you're paired up with your iPhone, you're going to have Siri. If you're paired up with an Android, you're going to have Google. This scroller button controls the left side of the screen in front of us. We'll see that more in a minute here. Then over on the bottom, you have your heated steering wheel control if your vehicle's equipped. On the right side, you have controls for turning on your cruise control, canceling your cruise, resuming and setting, changing the speed, following distance on the left, active lane keeping on the right, and then a scroller to control the right side of the screen. Looking at this 10.2-inch display in front of us, all the way on the left, you've got engine coolant temperature. And let's go back. You see a tachometer. Right now, we've got elevation and compass in the center of that screen, but yours might not look like that. I'm going to show you how to get that in a moment. Below that, we have outside temperature, gear selection. In the center, we have a digital speed readout and a little information about what's going on around your vehicle. Moving to the right, we've got an analog speed display, as well as a customizable screen in the middle. Moving down, you have your drive mode. That's where it says normal right now, but if we use the drive mode selector down here, we got sport, normal, econ, snow, trail, sand, and tow. Then you have an odometer and your fuel gauge way over on the right. Going through these screens on the left side, if you start scrolling, you're going to get mostly audio input options. If you click on phone, it's going to give you options to call one of your favorite contacts or view your recent calls for the phone that's connected via Bluetooth. Then you can quickly switch to FM, AM, USB, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Alexa, and then right here you have customized display. If we click on that, we can go down to hide and show. Say, for example, you never use Android Auto, no one has an Android in your car or in your household, you can click that, disable that from ever showing up on the screen. It's one fewer thing that you have to scroll through. Coming back down to display content, this is where you can either choose to have audio and clock, so then you'll see whatever audio is playing plus a little digital clock down there. You can scroll through, go back up to customized display. Again, display content, you could do elevation and compass, which is what you saw at the beginning, or you can go to off. That just gives you a handsome tachometer. Moving over to the right screen, we have quite a few options. Let's find a place to start. Let's say the very top screen is range and fuel. That's showing us your distance to empty, as well as your average fuel economy for trip A or trip B. You can click on the button to cycle through those, trip A, trip B. Scrolling down, we have speed and time, again, for trip A and trip B. Navigation, this is kind of cool. This actually shows you a little Google Maps on the screen. It's the same thing you see in the center screen, but just shrunken down. It'll show you your directions if you're navigating. Pretty cool to have that. Driver attention, this just tells you if you've been driving safely or if it seems like you're distracted. Continuing down, all-wheel drive torque distribution, so it shows you what power is being sent to what wheels as you're doing some off-roading. Pitch and roll, same thing. It's going to show you the pitch and roll angles as you're off-road. Seatbelt, this is nice to show you if any of your kiddos in the back have removed their seatbelts. Maintenance, we have oil life right there, and I guess that's it. It'll just show you what maintenance needs to be done. Tire pressure monitor. Safety support, it'll show you what's being used, the blind spot monitoring, active forward collision warning, etc. And then you can also just have a no content, again, showing you just a simple analog speedometer there. And then even lower, you've got brightness setting. You can click that and adjust the brightness of the screen, although I think that's only for at night, because at daytime it seems to be at 1 brightness setting. You can also use this screen to turn off the VSA, Vehicle Stability Assistant. And then gauge display settings. We can click this, change our speed and distance units, choose which of these screens to hide or show. Again, if you never want to see something like your pitch and roll, if you don't ever plan on taking your Passport off-road, you could disable that. Coming back, you can choose gauge design. Okay, so we've got these round ones, but you can also change to bars along the side, giving you a little bit more room in the middle. Round minimal. Okay. So gauges will hide when cruise control is active, all right? And then same bar minimal, and then just minimal. Yeah, look at that. Totally get rid of those. So you could go back now. Let's see what our navigation would look like. Still just a little small one on the side. Okay. So if you're somebody who doesn't care for those traditional gauge cluster kind of theme, then you can change that. It's kind of cool. Now making our way into the center. You've got that 12.3-inch display tacked up on top, and then you've got a volume control, which you can use to adjust volume, click to turn off the audio. You have your hazard switch in the middle. Continuing down, you've got HVAC controls, your heated and ventilated seats, everything like that. Below that, the ability to turn on or off or control your rear HVAC. Then continuing way down, you've got some USB-C ports, 12-volt outlet, your shifter, drive mode selector, ability to turn off the active stop-start, hill descent control, parking brake, and then parking brake hold, so that it'll hold the brake for you when you're stopped at a stoplight. This infotainment screen is running Android Automotive, not to be confused with Android Auto. It essentially means this is an Android system running an infotainment system. So I believe if we go into advanced settings, scroll down to system and about, yeah, you can see right here it's running Android 13. And I believe if you were to spam the build number, yep, you could get developer settings. I wonder, oh, you have to put in a password for the developer settings. That's actually kind of smart. I wonder if you can get, what happens if you, no, that's grayed out. On some Android devices, you can hold down on the build number and then get a little Easter egg. Doesn't look like that. It's going to happen on this one. Okay, but yeah, this is an Android system, and it's one of my favorite infotainment systems because it works so well, especially in these Hondas. I'm a big fan of it. So if we start out at home, this is essentially your home screen. It's a list of apps. So you've got those, but you'll always have this persistent menu on the left side, and these on the left are customizable. So again, say for example, you never use Android Auto, you could swap that out with something like maybe your trip computer. Press and hold, and drag it over. Oh, maybe you have to actually, edit shortcuts. Okay. You have to frequently use apps can. Then you go, where was that? Oh, we're going to put trip computer. Where'd that go? There it is. Then you can drag it over, swap it out, like so. Now, then same thing, you can edit your home screen. So say, for example, you don't like the compass being way over on the third screen, you can drag and drop it and move the tile closer up, and then it'll be easier to access. So I highly recommend you customize these bottom three to get whatever applications you're going to use most regularly on the left side. Bringing up Google Maps, you can see this is normal Google Maps. You can pinch and zoom, you can move around. It's exactly like you were using it on a phone or a tablet or a computer. You can even do things like switch it over to satellite view. I mean, how nifty is that? That is great. And we'll show you a little bit more when we test out voice commands. You'll see how nice this navigation is to use. Coming back home, you have phone. That's going to give you recent calls and contacts. Probably not going to use that much if you're using a phone projection like Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. FM radio, very straightforward there. You've got your favorites along the bottom. Back home, the Google Play Store. If you're logged in with a Google account, then you're going to be able to install applications like SiriusXM Radio, Tidal, different games. There's a lot of different things like Waze as well, Waze Maps you're going to be able to use. So definitely nice to have the Play Store there. Take a look at trip computer, again just showing you your range, average fuel economy for the current drive, and trip A and trip B. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto will show you before the end of the video. Amazon Alexa, you can sign in with your Amazon account and use Alexa in the vehicle. I should also mention that we have this side screen that you can scroll through and kind of shows you split screen layout. I don't know, maybe we'll see in general settings if there's a way to get rid of the split screen if you don't want that. But it's something you can just have a clock up there, or your current drive, etc. Google Assistant, we'll see that in a minute. We'll skip over vehicle settings for now. Bluetooth audio, if you want to play Bluetooth, that's where you're going to get it. Compass, you can just bring up a nice big compass should you want that. USB audio, AM radio. System updates, if you're connected to a Wi-Fi network, you're going to want to use that in order to receive over-the-air updates. Wi-Fi hotspot, you can pay monthly for this vehicle to have Wi-Fi built in and provide an internet connection to a laptop or a tablet, maybe a kid's device. Clock, you can bring that up and see a big clock and also adjust the date and time or choose from different clock faces if you'd like. Oh, USB file. Okay. Honda Link, this is going to be the ability to connect your phone to the vehicle and use things like remote start and see information about your vehicle. Display mode, you can change the brightness essentially, or turn the display off if you're maybe driving at night and got your cruise set and you don't want to see that. And then all apps, you can see everything listed. If there were something that you never ever use, like, now why would this be undone? Multi-view camera, I was looking for that earlier. Now let's go back and then you can see multi-view camera. This is probably something that you're going to want to have up on your kind of quick toggles here on the left, because if you have this elite model, you get the 360 cam. It's definitely nice to have. Alright, let's get into vehicle settings now. We're not going to go through every nitty-gritty setting, but anything you might want to know or see. Driver assist system setup. If for some reason you didn't want a certain system to be on, or maybe, for example, you don't want it to beep at you when you try to change lanes, you could, like blind spot information, you could turn off the audio alert and just have it be visual. Good amount of customization right there for all the safety settings. Driving position setup. Do you want it linked up to your key, for example, when you get in, key 1 or key 2, if the seat is going to move to fit that driver? That's a setting right there to have. And then seat position movement at entry and exit. I'm going to actually turn that off, because if you have a rear-facing car seat, it's a little annoying to have it moving back into the seat. Under lighting setup, you can turn on or off your auto high beams, change how long the lights stay on after you leave the vehicle. Power tailgate setup. If you don't want it to open hands-free by kicking under it, or if you don't want it to open when the vehicle is locked, then you can change those settings. Maintenance information, you can just see a little bit more, your oil life, and you can reset the maintenance right from there. It's nice and easy to do. Meter setup, you can have trips reset automatically when you refill the vehicle if you wanted, or at different time, maybe when you restart the vehicle. You're going to change the alarm volume, that's kind of nice. A lot of different settings here, turning the reverse tone off, because right now when you put it in reverse it chimes like that. You could turn that off. Rear seat reminder, if that's annoying to you every time you shut off the vehicle, for it to remind you to check the rear seat, you can turn that on or off. Keyless access setup, if you want to change which doors open when you touch the driver door or press the unlock button, you can do that there. Also, you could disable things like the beeping or the remote start system. Door setup, do you want it to automatically lock when you walk away? Some people like having that functionality. Do you want it to, again, beep different times when you lock or unlock it, automatically fold the mirrors? Lots of different settings in there. Climate control setup, driver seat, automatic climate control. Okay, so when you have the climate control set to auto, do you want it to automatically turn on a heated or cooled seat depending on the temperature? Oh, that's kind of fun. You can move the car around. Huh, neat. Then coming back, going to general settings, under system, date and time adjustment, language, you got English, Spanish, and French. Touch panel sensitivity, okay, low or high. Maybe if you wear gloves often, you might want high. Factory data reset, if you go to sell your passport, you're going to want to reset, clear your data off of there. Connections is going to be how you set up Wi-Fi and also manage your device connections for pairing up a phone. We're going to show you that here in a little bit. Under display, you can change the brightness right here, as well as contrast and black levels. Under sound, this is going to be how you adjust your EQ settings for the Bose sound system, or the more basic one if you have that. Under sound volume, you can change the navigation guidance voice levels or system sounds. And if you turn system sounds all the way off, you get rid of that little click setting. Some people are going to appreciate that. Turn it back up to 1. Coming on over, camera. Multi-view camera, guidelines, customize, show after shifting from reverse, auto display when obstacles detected. Those are both good. Cross traffic monitor, that's definitely helpful to have. Some Google settings in here that you could adjust, nothing that you're really going to need. Security, nothing that you need in there. Voice control, default assistant app. Okay, if you wanted to use Alexa as your default voice assistant, you could set that there. Also, you could turn on or off the wake word for Google, and if you're logged in with a Google account, you could adjust how customized it is for you. Under advanced settings, this is going to be the actual Android stuff. You're not going to really need to access any of that. Lastly, profile settings in the home screen. You can adjust, you can have profiles for different drivers in here, and you could change things like manage the profiles and set the driving position for either seat button 1 or button 2 on the memory. Now let's show you the voice commands. Now you can either access them by using that wake word, or you can press this button here. Navigate to the nearest Starbucks.
Okay, Starbucks. Here we go.
Look how fast that was. You see how quick and easy, and then it just is going to automatically start, and then you get your navigation going. If you bring up the nav in the screen, then we see our directions right there. Then you can do things like cancel navigation.
Stopping navigation.
Again, look how easy that was. And because it's the actual Google built-in assistant, you can do things like, what's the weather like in San Francisco next week?
Sunday through next Saturday in San Francisco, it'll be cloudy most of the time, but on Tuesday there'll be light rain, and on Thursday it'll be mostly sunny. Highs will be around 68
Cancel.
Sunday, then stay around 63 until next Saturday. Sunday through next Saturday.
Okay. Look how easy that was, and how informative it was at the same time. Or you could do things like, what's 28 times 33?
28 times 33 is 924.
Having that ability just right there in your car is so convenient, and for it to work that quickly. That's where the Hondas really excel, is they work so fast. I love having Google built in like that. So now let's show you how Android Auto and Apple CarPlay look. We've already got Android Auto wirelessly paired up, so let's click right here. We see it taking up the whole screen. If there's any sort of lag, it's because I'm also filming with this device right now, but let's bring it home. This is what the home screen's going to look like for Android Auto. We've got Google Maps taking up the center and your media over on the right. Let's go back to full screen Google Maps. You can move it around, pinch and zoom. Very nice, usable functionality right there. Let's bring up YouTube Music. That's what all of your apps are going to look like there. YouTube Music. Let's hit the Super Mix, see what we're getting. The 69 eyes. Bringing it home. That's what you're going to look like with media playing. Now let's pair up an iPhone. So in order to do that, we're going to grab our trusty little iPhone 13 mini, head on over to the settings screen, go to Bluetooth. Then in the car, I'm going to scroll over to general settings and connections, manage device connections, connect new device. And then on my phone, I see Honda Passport. I click that. Pairing request, I press pair and continue connecting on the vehicle. Press allow on the phone. And then connect to CarPlay. Enable CarPlay, yes. And bada bing, bada boom, we've got CarPlay coming up on the Passport. You can see I've got kind of a fun, bright background right now for Android or Apple CarPlay. This is what it's going to look like. Again, media on the right and navigation on the left. If we bring up Google Maps full screen, you can see moving around. Very fluid, very responsive, but no pinch to zoom on CarPlay, unfortunately. Let's bring up our full apps list, and we could go to YouTube Music, hit the downloads, see what we're getting. Some Epica. Okay, that's a good one. Single quietus. Coming back home, that's what it looks like with media playing. And then at any point, you can press this home button, whoops, up on the top left in order to come back to your home Honda screen. There it is! Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, the technology suite here in the new Honda Passport. Hopefully we were helpful for you here. If there's anything we didn't answer that you want to know, let me know in the comments. I'll try to get back to you on it. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.